Is it game over? Are we done? Are we in for a multi-bear market? That's what I'm going to discuss in today's video. Of course, markets have been bleeding heavily. We just turned over to a new day, so you can already see the cryptocurrencies here on the right-hand side of the panel, showing that they are in green. But if we look back, a lot of cryptos have been down. The overall market went down heavily. Bitcoin down almost 12%. Luna got absolutely crushed, about 52% down in the one day only. So in this video, I'm going to give you a nice, good market update. I love doing these market updates because I think it's really important just to have a good look at the overall market. I will get back to your cryptocurrencies that you want me to review, but let's be honest, I think most of the cryptocurrencies that I'm going to review are all going to be doing pretty bad. So let's get a game plan going. Let's see where the market is going, and I'll give you my take on it too. Just be aware, guys, always remember that no one really knows what's going to happen to the market. We can't predict every single buyer and seller. There's always multiple buyers, multiple sellers. There's always new buyers, new sellers who have their own information and things like that that they're going off of. So what we're doing with technical analysis is we're all just trying to have a probability game plan, all right? How often am I going to be right compared to being wrong? So let's start off with Bitcoin and see where we can see what's happening. So we've got the major 50% coming at 34K. I talked about this in my last video. I said we're going to at least test 34K at a bare minimum, and things were going to get at least worse from there. So that's exactly what happened. We got worse. The good news is that this is really hopefully the pullback we've been waiting for. I've been talking about it for a while, that January 24th was the low that Bitcoin put in for a long time, and that was around 32K. So around right here on the red line. That was really the mark. Of course, we didn't test it on February 24th. We ended up rising and getting a good altcoin season in March before ultimately testing that February 24th low. You can see we bounced off the 50% and then of course had the clean cut right past January 24th. The good news is that we are testing those lows of the last bear market, which was June and July, which is around that 29K. And that's why you see a lot of people saying 29K is the next area of support. And I would agree with that. So let's just, there's a lot of confusion happening here on the daily, right? Let's go to the weekly or let's go to the monthly and just clear it up a little bit because there's so much volatility happening. So this is on a monthly chart and you can just see that just looks a little bit cleaner. So at the moment right now, we're at 30K, which is right here. And we've got the blue horizontal line, which is the May, June, and July low. So you can see why 29K or about 29K is the low that people are predicting for Bitcoin to go at. If Bitcoin pushes past this level on a monthly chart, you can see it's going to get pretty ugly, and anywhere between 20 to about, call it 15, anywhere between 17 to about 17K, anywhere between 28 to 17K would be the range that the next support would come at on the monthly. If we go into the weekly, we can see that if 28K drops, then we'd be looking at 17K. That would be the next areas of support going into 2020. Of course, that would be the absolute worst case scenario. And this is why you're already seeing a lot of support coming into the market at these prices. So these are really good times in terms of, you always want to be careful when you say this because it's not to say prices can't go lower, they can, but you can start to see, okay, this might be the last bit of pain that we need. I've been talking about it for a while that we're gonna have a little bit more pain, we're gonna have a little bit more pain, we're gonna have a little bit more pain. And I was saying that basically all throughout here because I wanted us to test at least this 50%, which would come into the January and February lows. And then once we get those, we're going to test those January and July lows if we broke those levels, which we did. So now we're testing it. It's a very healthy test. And now we're going to see if the market is strong enough to support that price at 29K. It'd be very, very healthy if it does. And then we'll basically just go sideways for a bit, test at that 29K for a little bit, and hopefully we start going up. The only bad news to it is that there is a lot of global externalities that are happening in the market at the moment. Obviously, China's whole lockdown thing, which is disrupting supply chains all across the world. You still have the war in Russia and Ukraine happening. And of course, America's interest rates hike, inflation. There's still a lot of externalities that can play into it. And we just don't know when this bottom is coming out. But it's safe to say that Bitcoin is at a pretty good, healthy level at the moment in terms of testing, in terms of it testing these 29K levels. Obviously, like I said, if it breaks, it's going to look very weak and you can pretty much kiss anything in 2022 goodbye. But at the moment, like I said, this is a very, very healthy test. Hopefully we get the support coming off. The good news is that if we look on the daily, we had the dump and already we're starting to have the reversal. So this is going to be a very important week coming into it. So we're on Tuesday, Australian time, early in the morning. So this is probably going to be Monday night-ish for most of the world because Australia, we're like ahead of most of the world. So pay attention to this. This is what I want you to take away from the video. So we've got, obviously, like I said, May 9th, we had the dump and the very big close. We need the reversal. So I always talk about reversals happening. So here we have a reversal. Here we have a reversal. And yeah, look, I can keep going. But basically, those are some examples where basically you have a very strong close on good volume. And then the next day, you have bigger volume. and a lower close. So that's the reversal. And I always talk about reversals because one of the books I'm reading up on the shelf here that I finished reading the other day talked about reversals being a major sign of weakness and strength. So you can see we had the green day up, then we had the red day, which is the reversal on big volume, makes it look weak, and then you obviously have the confirmation of the downtrend. So reversals are a very, very good indication of where the trend is going to go. Most likely, again, we're dealing with probabilities here. I want to stress that importance. So right now we are having the opposite. So finally, we're actually having a red day followed by a green day, which didn't really happen up until basically February 24th, roughly, when we had a bit of a reversal that day. So we had reversal coming in, and then we had a dump, and then just showed immediate strength on that day, and we had a bit of a run. So now we might be looking at something similar where we have a big dump, reversal coming, support coming in, and we need this to close really, really strong and good volume. We're going to get the volume regardless. I have confidence in that, but we need to close somewhere like that, somewhere in that ballpark. If we can close above the 50%, even better, so right around 34K, and that will immediately show that Bitcoin has support. But you really want to wait for at least the week to close. Like I said, we're on Tuesday, so give it to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, see where the market goes. Don't get too excited, don't get too sad. Just see where the market goes because these are very uncertain times. Like I said, there's a lot of externalities happening at the moment. Let's have a look at Ethereum. Ethereum is looking much better. So like I said, Bitcoin fell past its February 24th low and past its January low. So again, let's just have a quick look at Bitcoin. There's the February 24th low. There's the January 24th low. And at the moment, our price is here, okay? Right there. In Ethereum, we're just testing those January 24th. Well, we're not even testing the January 24th low. We're testing the February 24th low at the moment. And we still got a little bit of a giveaway until we get test the January 24th low. And that's why in my channel, if you watch a lot of my videos, I always compare my coins to Ethereum because you can see it right there. It still doesn't have to test those lows in July 24th or late July-ish, late June-ish as well. So this area here, it doesn't have to test these areas in a bit of May. It's still a very, very healthy leap away from it. And that's why I actually put a lot of a sizable position into Ethereum the last couple of days, because Ethereum just to me is, I just love it. It's so stable. It's very, very strong. It's stronger than Bitcoin. Everyone wants to talk about Bitcoin being the ultimate store of value. If you look at a chart, you can just see it's not testing the same support area as Bitcoin is. So that's why I go for Ethereum generally, and I compare my altcoins to Ethereum. Let's have a look at Luna, because Luna's obviously been the talk of the show lately. So of course, I actually did put a little bit of my position into Luna at the 50%. So I did put it here around that $60. It did end up going against me pretty quickly, but I am perfectly happy to hold on to Luna long term. I am not stressed by this at all. I'm staking at the moment. It makes up about 2% of my portfolio, so I went very, very gentle in it just to make sure that I wasn't going to get myself screwed. So that ended up being the right position. Of course, I am down. I happily admit that, down about 50% in a day. But like I said, it's a very small position. I'm staking it. I believe that this ecosystem will come back. It will thrive. I'm not saying that just because I'm holding it and I believe it, just to back my own investment. I'm not that kind of person. What I'm trying to say is that these are the fearful days that you can lather in and just see that you're being okay with your investments and just go a little bit small, Like I said, for me, Ethereum makes up about anywhere between 80 to 90% of my portfolio. Luna makes up less than 2% of my portfolio. And then, so it's not that big of a hit to my portfolio, but I still believe that it's going to do a great thing in the long run with Luna. This is just a major panic sell, and you can already see we're up 17%. Again, anything can happen. I want to stress that. It's not to say Luna can't test these lows. Once these lows get broken down, we can start going to about, $17, maybe even $5. That can definitely happen. But Luna's ecosystem has the third biggest stablecoin, UST, and that is for a reason, because people use their ecosystem. It does generate profit. It does have a use case. It is being attacked at the moment. Tread carefully in times like this, because anything can happen. And this is why crypto can be a little bit tough to invest in during the bear market, because it's like, how much should I position in? How much should I put in? Should I put in a massive chunk in and try and get that big chunk and get a massive profit? And that's why I normally just say go with Ethereum in the bear market, because you can still put a sizable position and still make decent returns. Whereas if you go for something like Luna, that's why I put a small amount into it, because you just never know if it could go against you. If you put a small position, it goes up 90%, you still made a decent profit. If it goes down against you 50% like it did today, it's not going to go against you too bad because you've put in a relatively small position. So I own a very, very small amount of Luna. I'm not stressed at all. I believe in this ecosystem. I think it will do well. Is the low in? Again, much like Bitcoin, we need to see bar close strong around its 50% to show the reversal and to show the strength that was fear. Unfortunately, I still think Luna, the ecosystem, is going to get attacked. It's going to be tested a lot to test its ping. This is just what's happening at the moment. It's just getting picked on by the bullies, unfortunately. So we need to see that it can come out stronger. This happens to, remember Binance got hacked and things like that? This can happen where the network gets tested and they can usually come out better in the long run because they will definitely review their systems, what's happening on the back end of the system, and how this can be prevented in the future. But like I said, you're getting Luna for a massive discount at the moment. You're getting it from about 73% down from its all-time high. Like I said, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go there in one go, but we need to see how day 1, 2, and 3, so basically from now till Friday, how Luna is going to react. If we can get past our 50%, which would come in at $60, then that's going to look very, very good that it's just gained momentum again. That's what you're really looking for. If we continue to go up and then back, so let me just clear this up. If we go up and then we go down and then we sort of churn in this area and start drifting away, bad sign. And that's why I'll not be adding any more Luna until I get that confirmation that we're back in business. But I do hold a very, very small portion of Luna, and I am not afraid to hold it during times like this, because like I said, this is just fear in the market. I believe in this ecosystem. It's just getting attacked at the moment, and we need to see the strength of Luna. And if Luna can come out on top, it's going to look very, very strong. It's already established itself. It has a good use case. Let's see where it goes. And if it should go against me, it's a very, very small part of my portfolio that I wouldn't even feel it that much. Let's have a look at NIA. NIA is another one that I've been looking at, and NIA's actually looked very, very strong as well. So you can see it hasn't bleeded out the same as other cryptos. This was probably my second hottest altcoin that I was looking at previously. Still a massive hit, down 15% in the day, but you can already see coming up perfect rejection at the 50%. But of course, we've got another 22 hours of the day to go. So hopefully NIA can start going up there. This might be another ecosystem that has its own stable coin and things like that. I don't own any NIA at the moment, but I'm looking at NIA. I just want to be sure that it's not going to break down on me too much. You can see the May lows got crushed, and we had the February 24th low still there to come into play. So you can see even NIA hasn't had to go through its 24th of February low. So Bitcoin went through its 2022 low of January and February. Ethereum hasn't, and NIA hasn't. This is how I look for the best altcoins. How many support barriers are they breaking through? Rune is another one that's been the story of 2022. It's been one of the strongest altcoins. Again, very similar. There's your February 24th low. There's your January 24th low at around $3.25. Still a healthy 30% away. I don't own any Rune. I'm not going to hold any Rune until I can see it test these levels a little bit, because I really want to secure a very good price on Rune if I can get it. But it's proven itself. It's done very, very well during this run, during the bear market. So I would love to stock up a little bit on Rune should it get there. AVAX. I have a little bit of a decent bag of AVAX as well. I own more AVAX than I do Luna at the moment. Has gone against me quite a bit as well. You can see the support coming anywhere between $48 and $36. So that would be this area here. So about 22% difference between the high and the low, coming in again about $37 and $48. It needs to stay this range. If it breaks those levels, then your next support would be anywhere between 36 and 24. And I mean, God forbid that happens, but it definitely, anything can happen at the moment. AVAX makes up about roughly 5% of my portfolio, so not much again. Ethereum dominates my portfolio. If we have a look at FTT, I've been talking about FTT a lot. This is one of my favorite altcoins. I just believe that this is one of those ones that you just can't go wrong with, because it's run very, very well. It has a good use case. It's generating profit. You know, this is one of those ticks all the boxes sort of cryptocurrencies on the fundamental side of things. There's your January 24th low, testing it at the moment perfectly and bouncing off it roughly. So hopefully we can start getting a bit of a bounce on it. The only thing with FTT is that you need to buy it on the ecosystem, on the exchange to stake it. That's the only thing I don't like about it, because in the bear market, you might be holding all your cryptos for a while. So like I said, at least I'm able to stake it and get something going while my cryptos are down, so that the next bull market or during the times when we start going for a bit of a run, I can unload some of my bags here. So there's your 375 mark coming in at roughly $32. The next area would be $28. So you can see quite a good area of support. Your risk is relatively low at about 8% from where it currently is at the moment. Next cryptocurrency is DeFi chain. I've been looking at this one quite a bit. You can just see how well it's held up on a chart. We were really churning in this area for quite some time. A little bit of a breakage. I would love to stock up on this at the 50% at $3. So right now we are sort of testing there a little bit of an upthrust happening at the moment, but much like other cryptocurrencies, 22 hours left of the day. Let's see how it goes. But you need to be very, very strict with your entries in a bear market. Very, very strict. Be patient, wait for the pullbacks, because you need to secure these really good lows. Again, February 24th low, DeFi chain, not even testing it. Looks very strong. XMR has looked very, very strong. There is a massive dip right there on the 9th of May. There it is right there. 20% down on the day. Really bad look. Again, secure a safe entry. Margin of safety. Basically, buy at a very, very, very good, cheap price. So there's your February 24th low. You'd probably want to get a price around $142, call it. Maybe you miss it. Maybe it never comes that level again. But be patient, because in a bear market, securing your entry is so important. In a bull market, it's a lot more forgiving. You can buy at expensive prices and still get a bit of a run on things. In a bear market, complete opposite. You need to get a very, very good entry, making sure that your cryptocurrency isn't going to go against you too hard. We'll have a look at total market cap 1, 2, and 3, and then we'll wrap it up for the video. So there we go, 50% coming in at play at 1.5 trillion. Clean cut right through it. So we need to hopefully start poking our head above it a little bit. Like I said, 22 hours left in the day. Hopefully we can get above it and close relatively strong. If we don't, next area support, July 24th low, or 21st low, I should say, and that comes in at 1.18 trillion. So still definitely in the realm of possibility to continue to dip, but at the moment, Bitcoin is holding around that 30K. So be aware how it's gonna look. Possibly a little bit more pain, but this is where we're gonna see if the market is made up at the moment or not. This is a really, really key area. Like I said, if we break those levels, it's going to be really, really tough. You can kiss 2022 goodbye for any sort of run. But at the moment, we just need to see what's happening. It could also be a very healthy thing if we test these levels and bounce off of it and then start accumulating there. And that's your confirmation that, okay, things are trading within this range for a while. Total market cap 2, again, clean cut right beyond this 50%. 375 mark coming at 640 billion. And you can see that coincides perfectly with July 21st low of last year. So very similar to total market cap 1. If we have a total market cap 3, there it is, clean cut, 50% broken. There's your February 24th low. There's your January 24th low. Clean cut right past both of them. So at the moment, we're trading at 533 billion. If we break this level right now, next area would be the 375 mark at 424 billion at the moment. So again, we're just waiting to see what happens. Nothing wrong with waiting. Nothing wrong with getting that confirmation to say, okay, where are we at the moment? But what I want to see in the next coming days is I want to see Bitcoin close strong. I want to see us get out of this rut and start moving. We're testing those levels at the moment. Let's try and get past it. Let's try and move past it. Let's start going to the 50% at 34K. Like I said, it's going to take some days, some weeks. Let's see how we go. Let's see how it plays out. If you are thinking, what should I do? Or how should I approach the market at the moment? Just wait. Just wait. If you're very itchy, it's not financial advice, but if you're very, very itchy, ETH is just too good to pass up. Of course, it can go down lower, but really it can only go down probably another, what is it? From where it is now, I can see it probably going down another 20% worst case scenario. So do you want to save 20% on ETH, or do you want to get Ethereum about roughly, call it 50% down from where it was previously in November? It's not a bad deal, right? Do you want to get that extra 20%, or are you happy with that 50% discount? Your choice to make. But Ethereum is just the best choice to make because it's not going to go against you too much. And that's why it's always the staple of my foundation, especially in a bear market. When we start moving on, I'll sell some ETH, I'll start going into more alts and start getting more bigger gains and start maximizing and start roller coasting. But we have to wait until we get that confirmation. Going to be at least a few more months. But what we're looking for now to wrap it up is I'm looking for a bit of a bounce happening and we can start grinding a little bit. So hopefully we can start going a little bit, bouncing off that 50%. Really, really important that Bitcoin comes back, tests this 34K and doesn't dip below 29K. That is really, really important. So that's going to do it for this video. I hope it helped. Again, guys, just take it as it comes, take it as it goes. Give it the rest of the week at least just to see that weekly bar or that weekly candle and just see how it sort of plays out. So we still got another 5 days and 22 hours left of the week. Let's see how this week closes. This week's going to be a really good week to see where we are. If it closes week, give it more time until you get that confirmation. But you can see we've already been down every week since 28th of March. So let's wait for these levels to be broken. Let's wait for an up bar, and then we can start considering what we want to do with our funds and allocate them accordingly. But until then, everyone, take it easy. Don't get too stressed. Don't be too sad. Stake it. Use it as learning lessons. If you're still around watching videos, good on you. You're hanging in there during these times. But until then, everyone, stay safe out there, and I'll catch you on the next video.